I, 26M, asked my girlfriend's 25F friend to stop messing with his girl on our double date. Now my girlfriend is upset with me and I'm not sure how to handle this whole situation. What do I do? I'm sorry, I realize the title may be a bit confusing. The other day my girlfriend and I went on a date with a couple that she is friends with. I've met them a few times, but I don't know them that well. My girlfriend was hoping that we would all hit it off so that we could do stuff with them more. We first all went to grab dinner. It was okay. We got along fairly well. I did notice that the way he treated her was really rude and ugly though. He would point out things that she did and called her stupid a lot. I know when couples are joking and this didn't seem like that. My girlfriend and I will occasionally mess with each other. That wasn't what this was. He had a fun time putting her down and there was no enjoyment from her. It was awkward. She looked so sad and embarrassed. After dinner we went to some bars. She went to order a drink and he said no, I'll order for you. You always are flirting with the bartender. I don't trust you. He ended up ordering her a Coke while everyone else had cocktails. She looked miserable. After he had a few drinks he was behaving even worse. He was grabbing and trying to kiss her when it was clear that she wanted nothing to do with it. She tried to walk away but he didn't let her. He grabbed her wrist and said, "You're not going anywhere BTCH." She started looking even more upset to the point where tears were in her eyes. I finally said, "Hey, let her go. It's clear that she doesn't want this. Stop being a jerk." He got upset and cussed me out for trying to tell him what to do with his girl. I thought he was going to mess with me more but people started noticing him causing a scene so he walked out and grabbed his girl. On the way home I could tell my girlfriend was upset. I finally asked her what was wrong. She explained how she was really embarrassed about what I did and that their friendship might now be ruined. I said I was just trying to help as she looked really uncomfortable. She said that it was none of my business and that she could have handled it herself if she really didn't like it. I dropped her off and she hasn't wanted to see me since. I'm worried this may ruin our own relationship in some way. Should I apologize to my girlfriend? I don't feel like I'm in the wrong but at the same time I understand that she's upset with me. Should I do something about the girl's boyfriend? Do I report him? I'm trying to figure out if my relationship is even worth saving. I feel like my girlfriend should have been supportive of me in this situation. What do I do here? I'm at a loss. Too long didn't read. I interfered on a double date because the boyfriend was mistreating his girl. Now my girlfriend is upset with me. The fact that she cares more about not rocking the boat with this ass than she does about him basically assaulting his girlfriend in front of you doesn't say anything good about your girlfriend. You did the right thing and she is at best a selfish coward. That poor girl, you were amazing to stand up for her. I can't believe your GF isn't applauding you for what you did. A lot of other people would just keep quiet to avoid a scene. If she doesn't want to speak to you again over this, then I really think you shouldn't chase after her. It's a big red flag that she seems to think her friend wasn't being abused. I fail to see how you're the problem when your girlfriend is the one who is perfectly okay being friends with an abuser. Your girlfriend should apologize to you. You did the right thing standing up for that poor girl. Grabbed her arm and called her a bitch. That's way out of line. Who would want to keep a friendship with an abuser? Your girlfriend is colluding with the domestic violence you two were witnessing because she is afraid of losing her friend. You did what you thought was right, and it was a caring thing to do. The difficult thing is that her friend might get hurt more because of the abusive boyfriend being called out. However, that doesn't seem to be the issue. Your girlfriend exposed you to domestic violence without even letting you know about the dynamic. It also seems like there wasn't some goal of helping her friend, etc. Your GF really owes you an apology for multiple reasons, including how she has treated you since. I'd consider ending this if she believes her behavior has been justified in such an extreme situation. Edit, typos. No, her friend is the guy, not the girl. Read the title. She's not worried that her girlfriend could be hurt more for calling this out. She cares about keeping her relationship with her guy friend who is an abuser and not rocking the boat with him. That is extremely fucked up. My 19F boyfriend's 20M mom asked me to break up with him. When I said no, she asked us never to see each other until the pandemic is over because she hopes we break up before then. I've been with my boyfriend for over a year and his mom hated me from the start. Keep in mind that we've never met in person and we talked for the first time a few days ago. She thinks I'm a bad influence on her son because I come from a poor, traumatic background and have no good family relations. Her opinion of me never got too much in the way until now, when I decided to live in the same city as my college and my boyfriend happens to live 20 miles away. My boyfriend lives with his mom because he's doing school online, pandemic. In July, I went from being 5,000 miles away from him to 60. When he asked his mom about visiting me in August, she was against it, but he decided to go against her will and see me for a week as we hadn't seen each other in person in 6 months. When he got back, his mom was depressed and angry and it affected his mental health badly. A few days ago, he asked his mom if he could visit me every other week once I moved into the new city. His mom then FT'd me asking me to break up with him because she doesn't like me. We had an hour-long conversation, but basically, she said she didn't want her son to be in a serious relationship because he's young. She also said she sacrificed everything to come to the US so her son can get a good education and she's disappointed that her son wound up with me. She gaslighted me for most of the conversation, telling me to think of her saying that I am impulsive and irresponsible for moving to a new apartment, and then using the pandemic as an excuse for me being selfish about wanting to see her son. I say excuse because she asked us not to see each other until the pandemic was over, and I asked her if it was because she was worried for her son's health or if it was because she didn't like me. She then said, truthfully, it's because I want you to break up. My boyfriend intends to listen to his mom about not seeing me and believes that is the best scenario. His mom will be happy and we can still date. He doesn't want to go through seeing his mom depressed again because he defied her last time. He is optimistic about finding some way around it so we can at least see each other in the spring. Even so, I don't realistically expect to see him until maybe summer, and that's on really limited terms because his mom truly dislikes me. I don't know if I can go through living so close to him but not being allowed to see him for 7+ months. For context, my boyfriend is really close to his mom and they've really only had each other for most of their lives. He's single and divorced twice, I believe. And my boyfriend has said that her happiness depends on him, so he's pretty conflicted as well. I will probably send this post over to him so he can see the replies. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend's mom hates me, doesn't want me to see him in person until COVID's over, and we're obeying her wishes. So, what should I do? What are my options? I'm not sure if I should stand by my boyfriend's decision, keep fighting to see him, find a different compromise, or walk away. Edit, for all those asking, they're Korean. In case anyone else hasn't mentioned it, look up Enmeshed and Emotional Husband. He's deep in the fog and is putting his mom before you. Don't see him continuing to date you as you winning or him choosing you. He's putting her emotional well-being before yours. He's putting hers before his, and she always will, because punishing him keeps him in line. That's a difficult dynamic to break. He's 20, and she doesn't want him to be in a serious relationship. I guess she means, she doesn't want him to be in a serious relationship with someone who isn't herself. Could understand if you both lived under her roof and had plans to make a million babies with no jobs, education, unstable future. But she honestly sound more like a just normal. Honestly, I'm sure he's an otherwise good guy. But you don't want a mama's boy who will choose his mother's narc/borderline temper tantrums over you because it's momentarily convenient. Don't dump him because his mother wants it. Take a break and hope he grows up and grows a pair really soon. JMO. Your boyfriend's mother does not like you, and at this point it's likely she never will. He had told your boyfriend not to see you and he took her side. Her happiness is more important than yours. Just think on that. I wouldn't consider seeing each other once every 6 months a relationship. I say break up and revisit when you can actually see each other. I don't think this guy is in a position to maintain a healthy romantic relationship. I wouldn't waste your time on him. How do I stop hitting? I, 20F, was hanging out with my 24 meters today and we were playing around and I was hitting his arm and he looked at me with a weird expression and asked me if I realized every time I hit him. I asked him what he meant and he told me whenever I'm doing anything with him I hit him on his arm or somewhere, and he wasn't mad but was genuinely curious if I just express myself through hitting people. I felt absolutely awful because when I thought about it I do hit him a lot. It's not like I think about it, it's a natural reaction for me. I grew up in an abusive home where we didn't really show our emotions unless it was anger or violence. I'm on the most healthy relationship I've ever been in and I apologized for doing it and he said that it was okay but maybe I should talk about it in therapy. I've been in therapy for a while now for my childhood. I definitely will, but also wanted to see if anyone else had this problem. Is there anything else I could be to help this? TDLR, so asked about my constant hitting and I'm looking for ways to stop it. I used to be this person too when I was around your age. I became aware of the behavior when someone took it really badly. Obviously, I just hit them. I was in the wrong. For a while I would still hit people playfully, but would catch myself and apologize. After a while, I hit people less and less. Now I can't remember the last time I did that to another person. It's no longer reflexive. You can change your behavior. It just takes time and practice and accountability. Hi, I'm not sure if this will help but my ex had a similar issue. Every time I said something she didn't like she tapped me with back of her hand like I was a misbehaving dog. I did not like it, so I sat down and explained how it made me feel. She cried, apologized and made a really big effort to stop. I'm not sure if she used any specific techniques, but hearing her be so upset at her own behavior and making a really obvious effort to deal with it made me feel very valued. Definitely bring it up in therapy and see if they have techniques. I also sometimes would do this in a playful way, was not in an abusive household, but was motivated to stop because I don't think hitting is okay, even in jest / if it isn't hard. It definitely isn't something I want my kids to mimic. What helped me stop was literally becoming cognitively aware that I was doing it and doing something else physical to express the teasing / joking. I don't think I've done it for like a decade now. If my husband is being cheeky / teasing me or something, I do a loving arm squeeze or rub to accompany my laughter instead of a playful hit, which he loves because he's a physical touch person and feels seen with physical expression from me. Maybe see if you can put the energy into a positive expression instead of a negative one. It'll take some time, but you may be able to make the positive expression become second nature. I used to punch friends out of excitement at movie theaters or when hanging out. I'd cry I did exactly, but after one said it did kinda hurt I kinda morphed the gesture into slapping my thighs and now I've mostly stopped. Redirecting the gesture could be easier while you work on stopping it, just, don't hurt yourself. Hi, I used to do the same through all my childhood, adolescence and early adulthood. I never realized it. To me it was a common thing my mom did to me and my brother, and so I did it to everyone around me. It happened mainly when I felt frustrated or a little angry. One day I did it to an ex and he turned around and straight up told me, "Hey, why did you hit me? I don't like that. Please stop." I remember that moment to this day, and from there I was conscious when I was about to do it. I kept thinking why doing it felt so normal, and so whenever I felt like hitting I stopped myself. After forbidding me to give hits ear pats, all of them disappeared because I got accustomed to not give them. I know it sounds silly, but once you know what you actually feel and think, you can also control what you do. So, I recommend you to talk with a therapist. Ask yourself why you do it. Like finding the root, make it conscious, and if you don't like to hit people then stop every time you feel the impulse. With time you'll simply stop doing it. Oh, and tell other people, your family for example, to not hit you. Hope all this can help you.